insight to our discussion today. Now we move on and we stay in Europe. German Foreign Minister Johann Wadephul has said that ongoing attempts to end the Gaza war were the most promising proposals existing, and that he rated the responses received from the concerned stakeholders as positive. Let's listen into what the German Foreign Minister has said.
Letztlich wird es natürlich in den nächsten Stunden und Tagen darum gehen, wirklich die erste Phase des Friedensplans für Gaza umzusetzen. Es gibt keinen besseren Plan als den Plan, den Präsident Trump mit Premierminister Netanyahu vorgestellt hat. Ich gehe davon aus, dass alle Beteiligten ihn unterstützen. Das, was ich hier an Stimmen aus der Region gehört habe, war alles unterstützend. Das sind gute Vorzeichen, aber es muss jetzt Handwerksarbeit geleistet werden. Dazu möchte ich meine Beiträge leisten. Deswegen führe ich heute noch Gespräche auch in Israel. Diese Woche ist die entscheidende Woche dafür, dass die erste Phase gelingen kann, dass die Geiseln freikommen, dass humanitäre Hilfe in den Gazastreifen kommen und dass wirklich ein Waffenstillstand abgemacht wird. Dafür Lob.
This comes as Israel and Hamas are set to hold indirect talks in Egypt. Wadephul has taken part in a joint meeting of foreign ministers from the EU and the Gulf Cooperation Council in Kuwait. According to the German embassy, Wadephul is also scheduled to visit Israel today, where he is due to give a statement. Meanwhile, Hamas officials have already arrived in Egypt ahead of talks with Israel that the U.S. hopes will lead to a halt in fighting and the freeing of hostages in Gaza. Israel continues its offensive in Gaza City. Explosions and rising smoke have been seen in Gaza City. The Israeli army has also released footage of what it says are operations of the 401st Brigade in Gaza City. Now for this discussion, we are joined by Matti Zweig. He's a geopolitical expert, joins us live from Tel Aviv. Thank you very much, Matti, for joining us again. Good to see you. Now Thank you. Now, looking at this news coming in, what is the role of Germany? How is Germany navigating this between Israel and Hamas?
Well, Germany usually has been a very positive vector between the parts and taking usually not Israeli side, but understanding what is the right of Israel to defend themselves from a genocidal terrorist group and jihadist group. And from the other side, pushing Israel, of course, like many European countries, to a compromise to stop the war. And they think now there are positive signs in the same way that Trump sees positive signs, and Europe in general, and even Israel. But things are not over, because we must understand that the hostages is the last card that is holding this terrorist group, and they are not really very easily wanting to free them. So still are going to develop to see a positive final to this to all this so-called agreement and redeployment of Israel and a new future for all the area. They are still thinking that maybe the world is going to continue pressuring Israel to give up in many points and to have more benefits from the situation that they put themselves in, and making suffer either the Palestinian people and the Israeli people as well.
And to us, it seems like finally the discussions or negotiations are holding a momentum. Are people still optimistic about this situation in Israel?
People is more optimistic than in the past, because everybody think that we have come to a point that from one side, the military pressure from Israel, from the other side, the weakness of Hamas, and the international context that from one side, Europeans are giving a price to terrorists in a form of a Palestinian state that is not really a form or borders or a clear leadership. And from the other side, they know that Israel must defend themselves. They must continue being on the ground and around all the perimeter, at least, of the actual Gaza Strip. And from the other side, everyone understands that in some way or another is going to be another government that is going to change Hamas failure government that it was supposed to govern, but instead of this, they were only preparing for war against Israel. So anyway, we are positive that something good is going to happen. The question is if Hamas is going to continue being suicidal and trying to get to the end. It doesn't matter how much blood it will still spill on the ground.
Right. With that, I would like to thank Mary Zweig for joining us and sharing that insight on this topic. Thank you very much. Now we move on. The Kremlin has denied claims that China is supplying